definitely is all about results. This morning, two South African legends are bringing the Artscape Opera stage alive in a musical tribute to the great songs of migrants across the African continent. Songs of Migration is fresh off the stages of Washington, D.C., London and Amsterdam, and is a musical adventure compiled by internationally acclaimed trumpeter, composer and lyricist Hugh Masekela, and starring alongside him the lovely Sibongile Khumalo. They join us live in studio this morning to share their experience with us. Good morning, Hugh. Good morning, Sibongile. How are you? Good. So good to have you in our Expresso penthouse studio this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Now, I'm so excited about Songs of Migration. Can you tell us how this production came together?
Well, in a quick hop, skip, and a jump, one day I woke up and realized that we had so many great songs in South Africa, which has a great migrant history, and there's people from all over, and somehow those songs from it, and we grew up with them, and we got the idea that maybe we should put them together and rehearse and see how they would come along with some of the people who are in the cast today, and then we let James Nobo hear some of the songs, and he said, well, I think there's a play here, there's a show here, and then he put it together, and like we invited Sibongile eventually, and it was really teamwork, and we chose some songs and got rid of some, and Sibongile was a very strict vocal inspector of everything we did, and then she has a great choral background, and her father was a major reservoir of all these songs, so she knew which one she thought like would work, and it was a great teamwork, and we came up with the show. James put it together and wrote the narrative and made us sort of act out the narrative a little bit, but it's mostly like an amazing cast of young singers. Four of them, the young gentlemen are from Flores, and they've never been heard of before, but when they open their mouths, you just want to cry. And the three young ladies were with us. So like, I would say the nine of us do all the singing. We have a 5-piece band, and we've been working it now for 2-3 years, and it has become like a flower, a beautiful flower.
Now, Sibongile, this has come from Washington and London and Amsterdam, like we said. What has audiences around the world thought of this production?
In a word, people are amazed, enthralled, inspired by it. And there have been comments like, it's a pity you guys don't see what you do.
Wow.
You know, and that makes you want to go on. It's a very intense but beautiful, fun show. I don't know how else to respond. The response is pretty much is very similar, you know. And also you begin to appreciate how many South Africans there are out there in the world, because you say something in one of the native languages of this country and somebody responds, somebody picks it up in the audience. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. And it just tells you that we really are migrants, all of us. You know, we travel around, we move around. It's not just inside the African continent alone. Even you know, people travel outside of Africa, and they make a home. So on another level, you know, it also says to us as South Africans, we need to understand what migrancy is about as well, and accept, embrace people from other parts of the world.
And storytelling as well, because it's such a massive part of our culture, and it really does take center stage in this production as well. How have people received it in terms of that part of our culture?
Well, people...
He's funny. I can tell you that right now. He's very funny. So when he says some of the things he says, even for us on stage, every single night is a challenge, because you have to sit there like with a deadpan expression, because he says things not only with his mouth, but even with his body. The stuff he does, you're like, oh, please stop. But yes, it's part of the storytelling.
And people, they don't analyze it to say, about culture, I felt like this, and then about the singing, I felt like this, and about... But many people also think that there should be more dancing, but it's not your usual form of musical. It's just like beautiful songs, South African songs, and songs, you know, we have Yiddish songs, we have African-American songs, because they migrated from here, not out of their own decision, but So it's, and then we have like a Jewish song, a Yiddish song also, because we had a lot of migrants from Europe at the turn of the century. And we have migrants from the different neighboring countries. And it's a kaleidoscope of like the South African population, not as you see it socio-politically, but on stage, you feel that like South Africa is one place with people from all over.
Yeah. What do you think people are going to take away from this production?
They can take away bhajis, they can take away samosas, they can take away...
Okay, besides that.
Nando's.
Beach house.
Yeah.
I think people need to... okay, just to take it onto a political sphere a little bit. I think the refugees in the Western Cape, especially in Cape Town, are going to find they enjoy what the migrants are doing. Yeah. Because we are migrants in this particular context, and I mean, you know, you're the head of this province called people refugees at some point. So the refugees and the migrants are going to come together and I think and enjoy themselves. I think people must just come with an open mind. I often say that come with an open mind. It's a history lesson, a very entertaining history lesson, but it's not presented as a history lesson
Come with
at
an
all.
open mind. Thank you so much, Hugh. Thank you so much, Sibongile. We're so honored to have you with us in our studio this morning. And of course, we're giving away 2 sets of double tickets to see Songs of Migration with Hugh Masekela and Sibongile Khumalo, tonight at 7 November. And this is for Cape Town viewers only. Now, all you have to do is SMS the keyword COMP, that's COMP, your name and city to 33728, and those tickets could very well be yours. Stay tuned as we give you a sneak peek of what you can expect tonight at Songs of Migration, and that comes after the break. See you then.